What's up, YouTube? Coming to you from a different angle this time as we continue the SEMA show road trip from the Bay Area in California to Vegas. It's an 8-hour drive, and so I'm knocking out a bunch of videos that I procrastinated on over the past few days and weekends since I finished the 7-day video challenge. So I am on this long ass road trip. This is not my first road trip of the sort. I love these kind of things, and I haven't done one actually since July when I helped drive my friend across the country. I know you're watching this, so this is the last road trip I did, and I'm remembering it fondly. But yeah, we drove across the country from the Bay Area to North Carolina, and that was the last road trip I did in July, and now it's November. And earlier this year, I was putting thousands of miles on my cars almost every week, driving from Seattle to San Diego. I was just starting Driven Performance Advisors in the US, and I was trying to get my face out there to as many people as possible, so I was knocking on doors everywhere from San Diego to Seattle. And that was a lot of driving. And so what I really wanted to cover with this video is I am a well-seasoned road tripper. I've done lots of road trips solo. My wife and I love doing road trips together. I've done lots of long distance driving with my friends for track days and buying cars and all those sort of things that you just have to drive a long way for. But I wanted to answer the question specifically, what is it like to drive across the country? Now, I know there's tons of other videos on the subject, so this is just my perspective, obviously. But I'm going to do my best to give you that perspective and give you another flavor of what it's like. And if I were to do it again, how would I do it differently? So, as I mentioned, I drove from the Bay Area, Santa Clara, California, to North Carolina, and it took 5 days. We went almost 16 hours the first day, 14 hours the second day, and then shorter drives the last 3 days. My friend was towing a 20-foot trailer, which meant he couldn't go very fast, and so while I was in his Audi A4, just, you know, I couldn't go any faster than he was going because I was his basically support vehicle in case things went wrong. They never did, fortunately, but I was there just to, you know, keep him company and do the drive at his pace. And so it was a 5-day drive. We went to Salt Lake City, then to Nebraska, then St. Louis, Nashville, and then North Carolina on the 5th day. So what's it like? Well, the middle of the country is very flat, very straight roads, very high speed limits, a little bit of varying scenery. Depending on the season, it's going to be really hot or really cold, not much in between. And you've got a whole lot of time to yourself to just think and learn and practice skills or eat or drink or whatever you want to do. And, you know, with all this seat time just in the car, it's a fantastic opportunity for you to make yourself better. And I think it was, I can't remember if it was the Grand Tour or Top Gear. I think it was Top Gear. They did a road trip in 3 small hatchbacks from the bottom of Ukraine in Crimea to top of Ukraine, where, oh, now I'm blanking on the name, the nuclear facility that exploded back in the late 80s, early 90s. But anyways, Chernobyl, that was what it is, Chernobyl. So that was about a 1,000-mile drive that they did, and it took them several days because they were in small cars, and really the whole point of the experience was small cars are boring. So I'm sitting here in an M3, cruise control at 100, you know, it's a different experience for me. I can go really fast, really comfortable, get work done on the way, and had to fill up with gas a number of times, but that's okay. That's a small price to pay. But so basically, it's a great opportunity for you to make yourself better. And I think something that is a very underutilized skill building resource in today's society is podcasts. And I know podcasts are already really popular. There are so many different ones out there, and I think you can use the opportunity of a long distance road trip to maybe get into some other kinds of podcasts that you wouldn't normally listen to. So I listen to podcasts predominantly on my commutes, and my commute right now is about half an hour, 40 minutes each way, depending on the traffic. And I will get through, not an entire podcast on the trip, which is pros and cons to that. Sometimes it would be nice to get through a whole podcast and then listen to music for a little bit of the drive, and I don't really give myself that opportunity. On the other flip side of that, it does mean that I'm breaking up some of these longer podcasts, and I get to potentially switch topics as I'm going, and just get a diverse array of topics that I'm covering in the podcast that I'm listening to. But with long drives, if you're one of the people that likes shorter podcasts, I recommend you get into the 3-4 hour long discussions on history, on leadership, on specific books, on even opinion related topics. I think all of those are really good for self-education and really growing your mental capacity, your skills from a mental standpoint. Jordan Peterson, Jocko, Andy Frisella's MFCEO podcasts are really good for that. I used to listen to Tim Ferriss, so some of his older stuff, I can only speak to his older stuff, and that was all really good educational stuff. And that, I think, is something that I really recommend as a good way to both pass the time and help you build your skills and learn about history and other people's experiences. When my wife and I did a 7-day road trip around to the top of Iceland, or not the top of Iceland, the whole country, we did a lap of the country in 7 days. We were spending 4 to 8 hours a day in the car, and we were just listening to podcasts pretty much the whole time on entrepreneurship. So that's my feedback for today. Not only what is a cross-country drive like, which everybody's talked about that, so I'm not going to go too much into depth on what it's like to drive across the country, but something you can do with that time is podcasts. And whether you're an automotive aftermarket entrepreneur or you're just you're the old random person, this applies to you, because we are all working to get better at all times. And if you're not, then because of the way the world is going and the fact that everybody around you is also progressing in their lives, if you are not making intentional effort to get better every day, then in reality you're going backwards. It's the same way as inflation works with savings accounts. If you get that analogy, then hopefully you're already taking the steps you need to make progress with your life. So with that, that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed this. If you are an automotive aftermarket entrepreneur and want to learn more about best business practices and how to grow or transform your business and take it to the next level, I'm your guy. You can subscribe here. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye.